Hey guys, so today we're checking out the MP Concepts Thanos Grille, fitting all 2018 and newer JL Wranglers. So one of the easiest and probably one of the most affordable ways to switch up the front end styling of your Wrangler is to swap out your grille, and that's exactly what this is going to bring to the table. Now this grille is going to have a very intimidating and aggressive look. As you can see, we have a large brow up on top, we have the teardrop or the eagle eye right underneath the headlights on either side, and it's going to have an angular construction for a more intimidating and of course that aggressive look that you may want to the front end of your JL. Now this is going to work with any aftermarket or factory headlight that you pair with it, and is going to match any other matte black accessories if you're looking to keep this matte. Now this is going to be made of an ABS plastic material, so you can paint it to color match your Wrangler, or if you have a bright color like this, or even just one of the other colors for the JL, you can leave it matte black and add a nice contrast to your Wrangler. With that being said, again, like I did say, it is going to be very affordable, coming in at roughly $100, and I think for that price point, you're getting a lot out of this grille. Now a lot of the time, choosing a grille does come down to your personal preference in the design, considering that there's a lot of styling changes going on in the front. Now, I personally like the mild styling out of this one. I think it keeps it simple while also adding a lot of aggressive and just a dynamic look to the front end of the JL. Some other options that may be a little bit more expensive are usually just going to switch it up as far as the styling is concerned. You may see a large cutout in the middle with an insert or a mesh screen for a little bit of protection and airflow. You may see options with lighting that are going to be a little bit more expensive just because you're adding lighting into the grille area, or again, they are just going to come in a different style. Now, I personally like the way that this is set up. It's going to have that mild to simple design to it, but it's also going to completely change the look of the front end of the JL. Not to mention, it is going to come with everything, and it's going to have a factory style fit. You will be able to swap over the factory components like the weather stripping up at the top to make sure that it seals to the hood, and you're also going to be able to swap over some of the hardware while also getting new hardware in the meantime. Speaking of install, this is going to be a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. Incredibly easy to get this thing on your Jeep. It's going to take you no longer than 30 minutes to get the job done with some very basic hand tools. So speaking of the install, let's jump into that now. The tools that I used for my install were a trim removal tool, a pair of needle nose pliers, a Phillips head screwdriver, a pick, and a flathead screwdriver. So for the first part of this install, you want to make sure that your hood is open so we have access to all of our clips on our grille. And then what we're going to actually do is take off our weather stripping first. If you peel this back, you'll see that it's held in by a couple of clips. We're going to transfer this over to our new grille, so it is fairly easy to take off. I'm going to be using a trim removal tool with a cutout in the middle so we can easily take it off. Just want to be careful that we're not ripping it out of the weather stripping itself. Next, what we're going to do is take off these two foam pieces. There's going to be one on either side. They're held in by a Christmas tree clip. So I'm going to take the same tool and we're just going to pull up and get them out of the grille. So as you can tell, kind of made its imprint. You just want to be careful that you're not ripping the clip through the foam because it is kind of delicate. So now that we have everything off that we need to transfer over, we're going to take out the pop clips on the top of the grille. There's going to be 6 of them on the top lining here. So I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver. Just going to get that middle part up, and then we can just remove the full clip. You can also use a clip removal tool or even a trim removal tool. You just have to pry out the actual clip itself. Just make sure that you're being careful with your paint if you are using a flathead screwdriver, but we can continue that all the way down the grill, and then we'll be able to fully remove our grill. Now that everything's removed from our grill, what we can do is give it a good tug back. There's going to be some retainer clips, a couple under the headlights and some on the bottom of the grill. So let's give it a good tug. And then we can fully remove our grill. So before we hop into the rest of the install, I did want to stop down and show you guys a comparison of our new grill next to our factory one. Tell you guys a little bit more about this new grill setup. So first of all, this is going to completely change the look of the front end of your Wrangler. It is going to have a very aggressive look to it in comparison to the stock setup. Now with this, you're getting that angry brow up at the top, and you're also getting that teardrop or that eagle eye look for each of the headlights. Now what I really like about this is more of the angular construction in comparison to our stock one that is just really for the stock look and stock application. Now the one thing I do have to say about this is that you are moving from the traditional 7 slats over to 6 slats, but if you're not really concerned about that, then this is going to be a great choice. Now this is going to be made of an ABS plastic construction, so it is going to be pretty durable and be able to handle whatever gets thrown at it, but it is also going to be paintable. So if you do want to match to your existing color code on your Wrangler, that is doable, or if you want to keep it that matte black, you can totally do that as well. Now this is going to come with everything that you need in the kit in order to install it, and we will be able to swap over those factory components to make sure that this fits exactly like our factory grill. Now another thing that I would like to point out is that our factory grill has inserts. This new one does not. However, that's something that you could add on in the future if you would like to add any protection to your radiator as well as your AC condenser behind the grill. Now again, the big difference between these two is going to be that aggressive styling that you're getting out of this new grill. So what do you say we put it together and put it on our Jeep? So the clips at the bottom of the grill that hold it in may be stuck in the actual support here. Now we do need to transfer them over to our new grill, so I'm going to take a flathead screwdriver and remove them. Now the rest are usually going to be located on the back of the grill, and then we can swap them over from the grill. So I'm going to take a flathead screwdriver and just wedge this behind the clip. So you can also take a pick to kind of help you out, just because you kind of have to squeeze them together in order to release them from the support here. You could also just use 2 flathead screwdrivers. So now we just have to remove the couple that are still on our grill. We have 2 underneath our headlight and then 1 stuck in the center here. I'm just going to continue to use the flathead and the pick in order to remove these. You really don't want to damage the plastic. So you kind of just want to spread the clip open and pull back. It's going to have little teeth on it that make it a little bit difficult to remove. So now that we've removed those retainers, what we can do is just pop them on in the factory locations. So we're just gonna take them and just pop them right on. And they should be held in place pretty good. Now if they are a little bit loose, like this one is loose, what's gonna happen is when it is actually pushed into the spot where the retainer needs to be, it'll clamp it down. So don't worry about it if it's too loose. It will clamp down once it's installed. What we can do now is install our trim at the top. Now this is going to be a part of the grill as far as the top attachment and even some of the attachments for the weather stripping is concerned. So what I'm going to do is just pop this down on in, and that should sit in the channel behind the grill here. Now it is going to be labeled left and right side. So that was the left side. We can do the same thing for the other side and then secure it down. Now, in order to attach these, we are provided with Phillips head screws as well as clip nut certs. Now, these aren't going to clip onto anything. These are just going to be a low profile nut for behind here. So what I'm going to do is grab my Phillips head screwdriver. You're going to see that there's a cutout for each of the bolts, or the screws, I should say. We can put that through the insert. Then we can take our nutcert for the other side, place that behind, and then tighten it up with a Phillips head screwdriver. All right, now we can repeat that for the other screws. If you do have to crimp them a little bit, just to make sure that the screw passes through, you can take a pair of needle nose pliers, kind of crimp it down. So now we can repeat that on the other side. So now we can attach our weather stripping up at the front as well as the side foam pieces. I'm going to start with the weather stripping. You want to make sure that it's lining up with all of the holes there. Then we can start right after this screw here and start to push those clips right through. Then we can take our foam pieces with our Christmas tree clips and put them right through the top of the grill. Same thing for the other one. Now what we can do is just press the grill on like we did before. So we're gonna line up those clips at the bottom, give a good press. And then as you can see, we have our factory locations up at our support here. So we can take our new hardware, we don't have to use the factory hardware. We can insert our clip, and then there's gonna be a little screw to kind of spread out the clip and make sure that it holds. We can use that Phillips head screwdriver to tighten those down. And you kind of have to give it a little bit of pressure, but you do want to be careful that you're not stripping these just in case you have to take them off in the future. Now you can use your factory hardware if it is still in good condition. There's no reason to swap over to this if your factory clips still work. However, you are supplied with these as well. So after your clips are tight, now we can just close up the hood. So that's gonna wrap it up for my review and install. Make sure you like and subscribe, and for more videos and products like this, always keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.